Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you students. Welcome back to the session of Building Construction Technology. So students, we are today concluding with the module of special works and special treatment. We have been discussing about different types of construction works which are apart from your conventional methods, right? We are done with the special treatment regarding the fire resistance in the building, thermal insulation in the building and sound insulation in the building. Right, now today we are moving forward with the another important special treatment, and also students, please mark that this is an important theory regarding your descriptive exams, right, your university exams. The anti-termite treatment. This is one of the most important treatments which has to be provided to the structures, to the buildings where the termites are very much active, right? It so can happen that there are regions which are tropical or subtropical. In those places it is very much possible that termite attacks can take place in the building. So we will have two different types of methods for applying the treatment. One which will be for the construction, before construction of the building, and another will be after construction, that means the termite attack in the existing buildings. Then at last we are going to discuss in brief about the new module regarding the green buildings. Now students, green building is very much common these days. There are lots of practices going on. There are lots of consultants emerging in the market regarding the green building. Also, if you see in our city, in our Ahmedabad city, green building are being constructed right now. So we shall have a brief overview and discussion about the green buildings. Now let us start with the first, anti-termite treatment. Okay. Now students, as I told you, what is a termite? I think you know that what is a termite. Look at the image flashing above me. Have you seen this type of damages taken place in your houses sometimes, or in somewhere else, or wherever you have gone where termites are prone to attack, right? You can see how the building has got damaged. Can you see it is made up of timber, right? So the termites are basically white ants, right? They are fast wood eating insects, right? They are insects which will eat wood very fast, at a very fast pace, right? It can also eat other cellulose products made up of plastic or say also leather, right? Cellulose and non-cellulose products, both of them. It can almost eat anything that comes in its way, right? So it becomes very much necessary to protect your structures from the attack of termite. Otherwise, it will destroy almost everything present in your building, in your room, in your structure. You can see how severely it has damaged the structure. And I think you have also seen that in your day-to-day life, in your current life. Sometimes you would have seen that you call special people regarding this. In your existing building, when this takes place, then you call these special people who will spray the solution, the chemical solution, the chemical insecticide for the termites, and they will create holes inside your walls or inside the floors wherever the termite attack has taken place, and they are going to inject, they are going to spray the chemical solution, and you are providing such type of treatment whenever there is a termite attack. Now let us discuss about this attacks in detail, but before that it is necessary to know that there are two types of termites generally existing in our world. First we have is dry wood termite, and second we have subterranean termites. Okay, now what are dry wood termites and what are subterranean termites, right? You would be wondering that you have to study even about the termites in detail. Yes, because based on what type of termite are taking birth, what type of termites are attacking your structure, based on that you have to provide the necessary solution. It depends on that, right? So it is necessary to study that what type of termites can come. So dry wood termite, right? They cause greater damage as compared to subterranean termites. Now dry wood termite means these are the types of termite who do not require direct contact to the soil. They can survive in moist areas, right? They can survive in humid coastal areas without maintaining any direct contact to the soil. And hence you can imagine that it will cause more disaster because it can spread almost anywhere. Second we have is subterranean termites, right? Now these are the types of termite which cannot survive without living in the soil, right? They need constant direct contact of the soil, and when they take birth in the soil, they will make their shelters, they will make their mounds, right? And from that shelter they will start building tunnels towards your house, that is towards your ground floor, right? Generally it will be existing around your plinth, around your foundation inside the soil, and with the help of this soil they will start making tunnels and they will enter your house through various entry points like the cracks or the fissures or the pipelines, wherever they will get the escape ways, and they will make tunnels to your houses, and then they will start eating the material which comes in its way. So this type of termites are called subterranean termite. Now let us discuss about the treatment which is to be given. Also students note that the dry wood termites are generally found in South Indian states, and the subterranean termites are almost found in all parts of our country. So let us discuss about the treatment. We will have two different types of treatment as I already told you. Right now, if you have found the site, right, if you have found the site or the surrounding soil to be having the termites existing, right, if you find the termite mounds existing, then before constructing your structure, before constructing your foundation itself, you will have to provide the treatment immediately over there and eliminate all the termites, and then you can carry out the construction work. That is your pre-construction treatment. Second is, if your existing building from somewhere or the other, from different entry points, if the termites are entering into your structure, into your existing building, then you will have to find out those points, you will have to carry out the inspection, and then you will eliminate by introducing the chemical solution, the chemical insecticide which will kill the termites, and then you have to carry out the treatment process. Okay, so now let us first discuss about the pre-construction treatment. For the pre-construction, it will be a very planned treatment, so it involves three operations, right? The first operation is site preparation, right? Now, in site preparation, what happens is, your full surrounding site where you have observed that termites are taking birth, the mounds of termites, the houses of termites are existing. So in that, what you will do is, you will prepare the site. It means that you will first of all remove the unnecessary logs, woods, or any kind of like waste wood. These things will be first removed from the site, right? So that is the first operation called site preparation. Second we will have is soil treatment. Now look at the image flashing right above me. Can you see that holes are made in the site, on the full site, holes are made over there, right? So this is your soil treatment, right? Over the entire area, holes will be made, right? And from these holes, your chemical insecticide, your chemical solution, right? The solution which is going to kill the termite is injected from this hole, and your soil treatment is carried out. Right? If it is found that termite mounds are existing, then in this case, once the site is prepared, you have to make such holes, and then you will you will provide the solution, right? Now mark that the chemicals used over here will be either DDT or Aldrin, or right, we will have different type of chemicals which we will discuss also. It is mixed with generally 4 liters of water, and that full solution will be inserted in the holes. And the third procedure is by introducing the structural barriers, right? Now if it is a site that where constantly this is going to take place, then what you can do is, right near the plinth level, you can provide structural barriers. Now these structural barriers will be in the form of either metal plates, right? Metal barriers can be provided. We are discussing that, we are coming to that, but before that, make sure about the site preparation and the soil treatment. The third stage, as I told you, that is your soil treatment, and then we will carry out the introduction of structural barriers. I think I already discussed all of these points already, right? But let us have a look at the technical words also. So soil treatment involves treating the soil underneath and around the foundation with the solution. As I showed you in the previous slide, I told you that how it is carried out. Have a look at the another image again. You can see that different conditions are shown, that how your soil is treated, how the solution is added, right? As I told you that with 4 liters of water your solution is added, right? It is either heptachlor or aldrin or say DDT, right? These normal chemicals are used. Its concentration will be different regarding your type of the severity of the termite present. Next we have a structural barriers. As I told you that just near the plinth you can introduce the structural barriers. They will be in the form of either metal plates, I told you, metal layer, or you can provide an additional cement concrete layer, right? Both of these will act as barriers so that the termites cannot directly come inside the structure from the ground floor. So for that purpose you can provide structural barriers if it is required. So this is your full pre-construction treatment. Now moving forward to the post-construction treatment. You are familiar with this type of treatment, students. What happens over here is that in post-construction, first of all, inspection has to be carried out, right? Generally the entry pipes are believed to be the faulty pipelines or somewhere leakages in the water pipes, right? Or electrical wirings, your fittings, right? All of these things are considered to be the entry points of the termites in the existing building, right? So what you can do is, first the inspection is carried out, the entry point of the termite is found out, and particularly over that area, that place, you will have to bore holes inside, and from those holes you will have to insert the insecticide solution. The same solution will be used over here too, right? And then post construction treatment can be carried out, right? It can be near the columns, it can be near the basement or the steps which are resting on the ground, that is your ground floor near the plinth level. So all of these will be the points where necessary inspection has to be first carried out. Then you have to start with this treatment. Although there will be some amount of damage caused, right, when you are providing this type of treatment, but it is more desirable as compared to the termite destroying your full structure. Next, students, students, please mark that this covers your full module of the special works and special treatment. Now I am discussing with you another module, which is the green building. This is the, in fact, last module of your syllabus also. This is going to conclude your full syllabus, entire syllabus, which is the last topic called green building. Okay, now let us talk about the green buildings. Now if I say what is a green building, right, I think you know the concept about the same, that minimizing the use of locally available material. You will use eco-friendly materials, environmental friendly material. You will produce less wastage. You will utilize the renewable sources of energy, minimizing or almost eliminating the use of non-renewable sources of energy. The power consumption will be such that you will have the power saving also, and the energy which is generated from the renewable source of energy can be used in such a manner that you can optimize it, right? The amount which is required will be used. So overall you are decreasing the use of local material, you are increasing the use of environmental friendly material, you are also decreasing the use of water consumption, and you are increasing the use of Which type of material? Renewable sources of energy like wind energy and solar energy, right? Solar panels will be inserted on the ceilings of this type of structure. So this makes your green building. Now, for the green building, what are its purposes, right? So they efficiently use the energy. As I told you, see, I explained to you right now in simple words. Now we are moving to the technical points, that it efficiently uses energy, water and other resources. Now these sources of energy are becoming extinct. It will become extinct someday. So it efficiently uses all of these resources available. Next, it protects the occupant health. The health of the occupants is taken care of, right? So as to you have to provide that they get maximum comfort by providing such concept, and improve the employee productivity, right? It will also provide it will produce more resources for the employees, for the employment also. It reduces the waste, which I already told you. As it is environmental friendly, it will decrease pollution also and environmental degradation. Now, I am giving you certain examples of the green building, and we are talking about its principles. Now students, look at the two images flashing over here. One is the building named Shapath 5, which is situated in Ahmedabad. This is an example of a green building. If I talk about green building, it is not going to appear green in color. Please mark that. It means that you are applying the principles flashing over here. What are the principles which we can see for the green building? We have sustainable site design. It means you are going to occupy the site in such a way that there is minimum wastage of land, minimum wastage of material, minimum environmental damage to the surrounding area, less impact to the environment. So such that you are carrying out the design such that it is a sustainable site design. Second, it has water quality and conservation. So more provision will be provided to storm water conservation, that is rainwater harvest, right? So there will be methods provided by which rainwater will be collected, it will be harvested and it will be used also. So there is quality consumption of water. Next, energy and environment. Solar energy will be used for the generation of power and electricity and other purposes, right? Next, indoor environmental quality. Also, it will take care of the air circulation, right? It will utilize the wind efficiently and air circulation provided. Generally purified air will be provided. Materials and resources, as I told you, that the locally available material will be used less and the environmental friendly material will be used. Look at the another image flashing over here. This is your existing building, the Infosys campus, which is situated in Mysore in India. This is the example of your green building. If I also talk about the Rajiv Gandhi International Airport situated in Hyderabad, that is also an example of a green building. It means the 5 principles which are flashing over here, these principles are applied to the building and then it is constructed. This is your example of a green building. This is a revolutionary change in the current market. Lots and lots of design practices are evolving in the green building section. So you can go through this in the internet also. You will have varieties of case studies regarding this. Okay students, so this concludes your complete syllabus of building construction technology. So please go through all of the lectures again and again and please cover full of your syllabus. So have a very good day students now. This ends our syllabus. Thank you students.